Alright, it says I'm live. If you guys can hear me, please let me know. We will get this started. I tried the new streaming software again, so we'll see if it works out. I think I played enough with the settings to be able to make it work well. So, alright, says I'm good on my side, so let me know if you guys can hear me, and we will get this started. What's up? Something went wrong. Let's see in here. Dude's in here. He says, "What's up, race fans? 12 waiting, 12 likes. Well done, boys and girls." Yeah, very good job. It's a good ratio right there. Jason says the first one in here. What's up, Chris? I got 540 on Hamlin top 3. What do you think? That's a lot on Hamlin for a top 3, but I definitely think it's possible. Pocono is such a good track for him. I love him in tournaments today. I think he's completely underpriced for the most part, and he's actually one of my favorite spots today. I'm not sure he's going to go under-owned or anything, but he's definitely one of my favorite leverage spots, especially if everyone's going to be on Larson, Elliott, Blaney, which I think we all assume is going to happen today. So getting right to Hamlin at lower ownership I think is definitely a really good way to go today. So definitely have a lot of interest in Hamlin. As for a top 3, that's going to be iffy because always the Hendrick cars are going to be in play, Kyle Busch, but I definitely think Denny Hamlin could be that guy that sneaks into the top 3 that's not a Hendrick car. What's up, EZ? Jeremy says, "Hola." What's up, Jeremy? Something went wrong in here. Spread attacks in here. What's up, Spread? See. I realize the truck race is going on, so. Yeah, I definitely don't have any interest in the trucks. I know people in the Discord are playing trucks today, but I just have no interest in watching that. And I assume we won't get many people in here because it is a Saturday and the truck race is going on, but this is the only time I have to be able to do this live stream, so we'll just see what we can talk about today. What's up, Brian? Ron says, "What about Pasta Boy today?" I don't really have any interest in Alfredo. I really don't think we have to get to Alfredo today. There's just so many good cheap plays. Usually there's not a lot of good cheap plays, but so far this week we got Briscoe, Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones, Cole Custer, Ryan Preece, Ryan Newman's down there, even Corey LaJoie. You could even look to Justin Haley, and Michael McDowell's there too. Like, we have so many good cheap plays. I don't really see any reason to want to go to Alfredo today. Also, let me get rid of these highlighted drivers right here. It's bothering me. And also, we need to fill the DraftKings contest, so if you're watching this on playback, there's probably enough room to fit you in, but just go to my Twitter and then go to the tweet I put out, and then right here there's a link to the DraftKings contest. I think we have 30 more people to fill, and we got a couple of hours for that. I think we can be able to get it to fill, because if it doesn't fill, then it's not going to run, so I don't think we should have a problem with that. But if you haven't joined already, all you got to do is comment your DK username, or just hit that link, and it'll get you in there. Something went wrong. Says, "Who's going to break Larson's streak?" I'm not sure anyone's going to break Larson's streak today. I mean, I realize it's just boring saying Larson's going to win every single week, but that's what he's doing. He's by far the Vegas favorite, and it's for a good reason. He's winning at every single track, no matter the aero package. I mean, the All-Star race was something they never ran in. He was great in that. He's been great at road courses. I mean, he's been good at everything. 550, 750, you name it. He's been great at it. But if I had to guess who would break Larson's streak today, I'd say probably William Byron or Denny Hamlin. I feel like those are the two favorites outside of Kyle Larson to win today, in my opinion. I'm pretty sure Denny Hamlin's second in Vegas odds to win this race as well, so that's nothing like too crazy. But just saying Larson will win would be contrarian. Do you know what the average amount of cautions for Pocono? Not the exact number off the top of my head, so I'm not going to just tell you a random number to sound smart here. I'd have to look that up. But I don't think we're going to have an absolute wreck fest or anything today. Chris says, "Favorite cheaper cash place, 7,900 and below." All right, let me pull up so 7,900 and below for cash games. MDB's is in consideration there, but Chase Briscoe, Eric Jones, Cole Custer, Ryan Preece. I forgot to mention those two when I was talking about cheap plays a little bit ago. Ryan Newman, I think those are all good cash plays today. If I had to pick my 3 favorite, once you factor in the price tags, I'd probably say Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer, Ryan Newman for cash games. But personally for me, my lineups are very top heavy today. Like, I have a lot of Larson plus one of these place differential guys with either Elliott or Blaney. or I have like Blaney Elliott together, or I'll have like one of these guys with the Denny Hamlin or something like that. So my lineups are pretty top heavy. It's just, it works out this week because we have like 50 good options in the 6K range, and usually we don't get that. So I think it's definitely a good week to be top heavy, and I think a lot of people are going to build their lineups like that. So I'm guessing that this 8K to 7K range is going to go pretty overlooked. So if you want to get different in tournaments besides Chris Buescher, these guys should be pretty contrarian for the most part. And I definitely have some exposure to those guys. Let's see. Tommy just joined. What's up, Tommy? Jason says, hey, Chris, thanks for live. If you're doing another contest tomorrow, I'll take another spot if any left. I haven't made the contest yet for tomorrow. I'm going to have my video up after the race is over today, so I'm going to be in a bit of a time crunch, but I'll make sure to send out the invites to the contest and everything. Got a lot of work to do there. We've got about 30 spots open in the contest, so hopefully we should be able to fill that. Michael says, anyone to the back? Not that I know of as of right now. You guys got to let me know that, but I don't think anyone's in the back. Nick says, I love you, Chris. Love you too, Nick. Nice to see you back here. Casey says, favorite 6K drivers? I mean, there's just so many of them. I like Chase Briscoe quite a bit. I definitely think he has a lot of upside starting in 28th. I like Eric Jones. He used to be really good at Pocono. Now that he's in the 43 car, we can't expect him to get top 5 finishes like he always has been at Pocono, but I definitely think a top 15 is possible, and at $6,400 starting 22nd, I like the upside there. But Cole Custer, Ryan Preece, all these guys make a ton of sense for me. If you're looking for the pivot here, with the other place differential guys being so chalky, I like getting Daniel Suarez. He has some good numbers at Pocono in the past when he was in good equipment. Obviously in the lawnmower, he didn't put up many good numbers at all, but now that he's in the RCR car pretty much for Trackhouse Racing, I mean, I definitely think we have a top 15 upside here, and he's been good in this package this season so far. So if you're just looking for a pivot, like Daniel Suarez quite a bit there. Competition caution will be on lap 12, so if anyone's wanting to have a reason to fade Larson today, you could probably try to hope he loses the lead right there, but I wouldn't really fade Larson over that. But yeah, it'll be lap 12 from what I saw on Bob's Twitter this morning. Dude says probably too early to see if anyone's in the back. Yeah, if anyone's in the back, you guys got to let me know because I'm not on Twitter right now. Let's see. Dude says, I'll let you know if anything happens during the Q&A. Appreciate you, dude. That's why you're my wrench, man. Can always count on you. Yeah, dude says also follow Bob for anyone feeling inspections. Yeah, follow Bob. He's like one of the best follows on Twitter, man. If he didn't report NASCAR news, I mean, no other reporter reports the news that he does, so we'd be really lost without Bob. I mean, no one else even tweets out competition caution stuff or anything. All right, let's see. Hunter says let's fill up the C-Pen contest. Either join with the link or leave DQ username down below in the comments. Appreciate it, Hunter. Yeah, we got to fill that contest up. I realized it's a Saturday. I was considering putting it at 75 people because I'm sure a lot of people are going to watch my preview video tomorrow, and it's going to be for the wrong day because they don't even know that NASCAR is on Saturday. What's up, Terry? Nice to have you here, man. Todd says, hey, Chris, any spots left? DK, roughing the QB. Yes, there's spots left. If you go to my Twitter, if you look at my most recent tweet, I put another tweet in there with the link to the contest, or just comment your DQ username down below in my preview video. I'll be more than happy to send you that invite. Rank the top 3 6K plays. I would say Chase Briscoe number 1. Let me pull my sheet really quick. So I'd say Chase Briscoe number 1. I know he's the more expensive one, but starting 28th, I think he's got top 15 upside. He has been running well recently. I know he crashed last week, which sucked because I had a top 10 lineup in a tournament, and Chase Briscoe I thought might take me home. Unfortunately, ended up wrecking with a brake issue, which there was quite a few brake issues last week. That all those guys that did have one kind of killed me a little bit. But if I had to rank these guys, Chase Briscoe, Cole Custer, then probably Eric Jones, but Ryan Preece is very close to him. Is it possible to fit 3 dominators today? It depends what dominators you're talking about. Like if you're going Larson, Elliott, you probably can't fit in like a Hamlin with them. But if you are going like Elliott Larson today, you could probably fit in like a Byron or a Bowman or a Logano if you want. It's just you're going to be really constrained on your salary, so you might have to go down to the Quinn Half range, which is not something I'd really recommend. But if you go like Ryan New and Michael McDowell, you might be able to fit in some other 6K drivers to make it work, but not something I'm really going on my way to do today. But most of my lineups do have Larson plus an expensive driver, because you can go very top heavy today and not hate your lineups. Let me see. Sorry, scrolling through the chat here. I am using a new streaming software, and it seems to be going well. And I'm kind of liking it so far. Just getting used to the chat. Dave says, what's up, Chris? I'm going stars and scrubs today with 3 DOMs. I need 2 guys under 5,200. Who you like? What's up, Dave? And 2 guys under 5,200 bucks. See, that's the thing we were just talking about. Like, I'm not sure I want to use 2 guys below $5,200. Like, I'm fine with all these 6K guys and these upper 5K guys, but 2 guys below 5,200 bucks, I do not want to do that. So, assuming we can't use Davison because he's 5,200, I would say Quinn Houff would be my number 1 guy down here. Timmy Hill is in a 2021 car this time, which I guess is a boost for him, but I'd say BJ McLeod. But if you can fit Davison and Houff, but I would try to probably change something else in my lineup, especially if that's a cash game lineup. I do not want to go double down low that bad. Is Houff viable? I think he is viable. Last year at Pocono, on the second race, he ended up crashing in the first one, kind of similar to what he did last week. I ended up playing like 20% Quinn Houff, and it worked out. He gained like 9 spots. I'm not sure he's going to gain 9 spots today, but if he can get you a top 32 finish, that's not terrible at 4,700 bucks. So he is viable, but only in tournaments. Wouldn't go there in cash games. And I know, Chris, you play cash games, so I wouldn't go Quinn Houff there. Chris says, I'm making my stand and fading Larson 100% in tournaments, going back and forth in cash. You sound like the guy in Chris Austin in my Discord chat. He's fading Larson today. We've been giving him a bunch of crap all week about it. It's also, I think it's his birthday today, so happy birthday to you if you are watching. But anyway, going back and forth in cash on whether or not to fade him. Do you think he will have 45+% ownership in cash? I do. I think there's going to be 3 ways to go in cash this week. It's either going to be Larson Elliott, Larson Blaney, or Elliott and Blaney. And I'd say the most popular 2 will be Elliott Blaney or Larson Blaney, or Larson Elliott, I should say. I personally prefer Larson and Elliott, just because I think Larson is going to lead the majority of this race and win. And if he does that, like let's say he leads around 100 laps today, which is certainly possible. The guy's been leading nearly 90% of the races these days, and he wins. That's around 100 DraftKings points, which would outscore a guy like Blaney finishing in 5th place, where he'd score around 60-some points. Like, yes, it's a very high floor, and Larson's a little bit riskier, especially with the lack of laps today. But with the way he's been running this season, not out of the cards, and it's definitely possible he can lead around 100 laps today and win this race, which I would not be shocked by. So, personally, for me, I'm liking the Larson-Elliott pairing today in cash games. Plus, if he sucks, he should be at the ownership, high enough ownership where it really won't matter anyway. Braden says, popular cash plays, Larson, Elliott, Blaney. I feel like some people will play Denny Hamlin in cash. And all those 6K drivers, they're all going to be pretty popular. I don't think one's going to be overly popular than the other, but Chase Briscoe, Eric Jones, Cole Custer, Ryan Preece, those guys will be very popular cash plays. In the 5K range, we have Ryan Newman, who's just way underpriced. Custer failed inspection. Custer to the back, I think. He's already in the back anyway. That doesn't change anything for me. The only concerns I would have if anyone went to the back would be Kyle Larson. I mean, just because he's on the pole winning, I'm assuming that track position is going to be big for him at the beginning. I mean, he could rip his way through the field, but I probably wouldn't play Larson in cash games if he happened to go to the rear. I'd rather just play the place differential guys at that point. Because then a guy like maybe Kevin Harvick or William Byron will be the early dominator instead of Kyle Larson leading the entire race. Chris Austin says, if anybody is fading Larson today, they should consider taking a bingo. You're the one fading Larson today, though. Spread says, stop what you're doing, go like the vid really quick. Yeah, likes on the video definitely help me out. I do appreciate that quite a bit. Pugsley says, Byron, Elliott, Hamlin, Reddick, Newman, and Suarez. How do we feel about that tournament lineup? So you're getting leveraged by just not having Larson, so it's definitely good for tournaments. I like Byron quite a bit. And I like the idea of, if you're fading Larson, getting the Byron, because the guy's been really good at Pocono. We know how good he's been this season, pretty much the second best driver in this aero package. So if you think you can get around Larson early on, lead the laps, and finish top 3, I definitely like the Byron play quite a bit. Like Elliott a lot. Hamlin's a great play. Reddick's a good tournament play. People are going to look at the track history last year, but he had issues in both Pocono races, so I like getting to Tyler Reddick there. Always has top 10 upside in that car. And then we got Newman and Suarez, good cheap plays. Definitely like that quite a bit. I think it was a very good tournament lineup. Rowdy Dorito says back-to-back top 10 weeks in the big $1 DK contest. Thanks. Oh, that's awesome, man. Hopefully you keep that up, Rowdy. It's a fun name there, Rowdy Dorito. Hopefully we can get another top 10 this week, maybe even a top 5. Well, you got 2 chances out of this week, too. Dude says, crazy 12.5 on DK might lower ownership a bit on Larson. He will still be heavily owned, especially in cash games. Yeah, like if Larson was in the 11K range, he's probably looking at 50+% ownership once again. Since he's at a massive $12,500 price tag, and we have place differential guys in Elliott and Blaney, It should keep him in the low 40s would be my guess, but even then he's going to be chalky. Newman high ownership for sure. I mean, I know a lot of people aren't really excited about playing Newman these days, but he did well last week. I know it doesn't really offer you the place differential upside, starting just inside the top 20, but $5,800 is kind of a joke of a price point. Price below Justin Haley, that should never be the case because he's not bad at Pocono. Like, he's got top 15 upside, and in this package this season, he's been pretty solid for the most part. So just a complete mispricing in my opinion. He's also cheaper than Justin Haley on the Sunday race too. You're welcome, Jason. Thank you very much. Let's see. Sorry, just going around the chat a little bit. Kyle Busch is leading Truck right now. I didn't even realize Truck was today. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are watching Truck right now. Like, I didn't expect a lot of people in the live stream today, but did want to do one anyway. And oh, I forgot what I was doing. Just lost my train of thought for a second. Yeah, Kyle Busch, I mean, anytime he's in the lower series, it's always a shocker if he doesn't win, to be honest. Dude says also being on the pole will help keep ownership slightly lower. That's another thing for Larson because there's a lack of laps today. It's kind of like a road course where people are going to kind of focusing on finishing position and place differential. So, I mean, Elliott's are right there, which Elliott's going to help lower the ownership a little bit, but you can easily play both together. But yeah, I definitely think Larson might be a little bit lower owned than he has been the past couple of weeks because of that price point and the kind of track we're at. Dave's liking Byron today. I like Byron today too. I like him a lot in tournaments. He's very good at Pocono, and that's before this season, which we know exactly how many leaps that Byron's took in this season. Like, he's been absolutely awesome this year. Pretty much the second best car out there, really. Second in fast laps in this package, only behind Kyle Larson. But the drop-off from Larson's Dominator points to the next guy is massive. Like, I've never seen anything like this. It's crazy this season what Larson is doing. I mean, I wouldn't say it's an all-time run, but it certainly could be in a few weeks if he keeps this up. Spread says Newman starting 19th makes his price interesting. He will hover there, I think. Yeah, I'm playing Newman in cash games personally. I just can't get past the price point. It's just too cheap. Too cheap. Nick says Newman hasn't been as good in the 6 here. I think he will finish around the place he starts, and I don't think he will be optimal. It's not the way to look at it. It's just I'm mainly focusing on how they've ran this season because we've seen it. Like, in the past, these numbers don't really add up this season. Like, Kevin Harvick, great at every single track ever. If you were just looking at recent track history every single week this year, you're probably getting crushed because they'd be telling you to play Kevin Harvick every single week. And what's he do? He just does not make the optimal lineup. And really, this season, it's just been the Hendrick show, so I'm just kind of adapting to that this season. And I haven't really been caring too much about track history this season. I'm not sure if anyone's noticed that, but with the way they've been running this season has been by far the most important thing to me. And Hendrick cars have been always on top, and guys like Newman, Suarez, Buescher, like, their numbers don't look as good at recent track history, but the way they've been running this season, they're definitely outperforming, so that's why I'm kind of a fan of Ryan Newman today, which a lot of people will be. He should be pretty chalky, which always makes for an interesting tournament pivot. I mean, Newman starting inside the top 20 can definitely go south in a hurry. What's up, Donald? Shady? Shady's been on fire, man. It seems like he takes on a contest each and every single week. He has been on fire. Might be one of the hottest guys in DFS right now. I am really behind in the chat. Try to zip through these a little bit quicker, I guess. Nick says I was first in the $4 ticket at over 10K, 200 out of 300 last week. Briscoe wrecked, and I had him in all my lineups. I'm right there with you, Nick, man. My best lineup had Chase Briscoe, and I wasn't even a big fan of Chase Briscoe. He just happened to be one of those lineups where he found his way into it, and it was really good. It was like in the top 10, and ended up wrecking, and it sucked because I sat down, got a snack, and it was the end of the race, and I'm like, all right, let's see where Chase Briscoe takes me money-wise, and he took me south. Fortunately, I had some other decent lineups, but definitely wasn't the day it could have been. What's up, Trucker? Good luck to everyone. Yeah, good luck to you, man. Todd says, how much Blaney you have today? I have a good chunk of Blaney. I have over 35%. He is like top 5 in my ownership today. It's just hard to pass up the place differential. I know he hasn't been great this year outside of winning the Atlanta race, but he's running 27th. I got to play my man Blaney. You guys know that. Albert says, how does Larson, Elliott, Buescher, Newman, E. Jones, and LaJoy sound for cash games? LaJoy's an iffy cash play for me today, but the other 5 guys are excellent. Like, I have, personally in my main lineup today, I have Larson, Elliott, Buescher. We're like one driver off. I guess we're just LaJoy off, so maybe you can try to figure out who that is. But yeah, we were very close there. All right, let's see. Sorry, just reading my Discord chat. Someone said asking if I was having technical issues. You guys can let me know in the chat if anything's wrong. It looks good on my end. Stream health looks good, so. Something went south, said Timmy Hauff. Yes, Timmy Hauff. Probably going to be running the same anyway. Okay. Michael says, are you waving your Blaney flag proudly today? I might have to throw the Blaney shirt on today, give him some good luck. I haven't worn that in like a month or two, and he's been terrible, so maybe I should throw that back on for some good luck. If I put it on today, I'll let you guys know, and if he wins, maybe I'll just have to keep wearing that every day for the rest of my life. To give him some good luck, because he hasn't been great recently, that's for sure. Something went wrong says, hold on. No offense to my Discord, I just gotta mute you a little bit, because it's gonna distract me. Alright. Something wrong says it's confirmed Keselowski is moving to Roush. You guys think Penske will give him the worst car? Car that's worse than Cody Ware? I'm not sure about worse than Cody Ware, but Keselowski's been slouching recently, and I think that might be a correlation to it. I mean, it's certainly possible. I saw some people on Twitter talking about that, and I'm not sure I fully buy into that, but it can certainly play into it a little bit, but it's going to be interesting next year. You guys think they're going to get rid of Newman? Newman's going to retire, and then Keselowski slides into the 6? I feel like that's probably like the most likely scenario. I don't think Buescher's going to go away. Pugsley says, Chris, how do you feel about this lineup? Elliott, Hamlin, Byron, Reddick, Suarez, and Newman. Like that quite a bit, man. Looks really good. Elliott, Hamlin. I love Hamlin today in tournaments. I think he's a great pivot off some of those guys up top. Not that he's going to be unowned or anything, but I definitely like Denny Hamlin. Byron like a lot. Reddick, yeah, it's a good lineup. Nick says I can't use anyone under 6,200. Yeah, I'm going to pull up the price tags here. So under 6,200 bucks. I'm going to play some Bubba today just because he's in the DraftKings card. Like, did you guys see that? He's in the DraftKings card today. Like, that's as good of a narrative as it gets. So I'm going to be playing some Bubba because of that. I'm sure it's going to go south, but I have to. I said it like a couple months ago when we got the news that I'm playing Bubba this week, so I'm going to stay true to my word, and hopefully it works out. I'll have a little bit of Joy, and I'm going to have a lot of Newman and McDowell, but not too much Haley. So I'm going to have a few guys below 6,200 bucks, but I wouldn't say they're absolute must-plays, but I do like Newman. Jeremy says, Quinning, double dumpster down low. It's possible. You can double dumpster down low. It's just not my most favorite thing to do today. Dude says, any of you folks been to any races? I have not. Plus, I wouldn't be able to go to a race anyway because I got to do content on those days, and you guys want me to go dark on Sundays. So I would like to go to one, but probably don't think I ever will unless maybe I make something in the schedule. For like when I go to Florida, I might be able to go to one of the Florida races sometime. Maybe we can meet up at a race or something. Nick says he's fading Larson. Nick's going all sorts of contrarian today. No Newman, no Larson. But it can always work out. I mean, at some point, Larson's going to fail. I mean, it's going to be hard to know when. It's probably going to have to be a mechanical issue. But when it does, when he fails, you're definitely going to have some leverage there. It's just you might get beaten up a few weeks. If you've been doing that recently, you're definitely getting beat up quite a bit. Jeremy says Carl Edwards. You guys like Carl Edwards today? The backflip. Tommy says Larson, Elliott, Bowman, Pasta, Custer, Priest. Yeah, I like that. You got 3 of the Hendrick guys in there. Obviously, Pasta, we know that's how that's going to go probably. He's going to end up wrecking or something stupid. But if he doesn't, I think he can have an okay run. Then Custer, Priest like quite a bit. So I think it's a good tournament play. You can honestly almost make a case for that in tournaments, or in cash games. But yeah, I like it all formats there. Just wouldn't play Alfredo in cash, obviously. So that's why I like it for tournaments. Dude says backflip boy. Yeah, those were always really cool. I was really young when he was racing, but I remember the highlights of seeing Carl Edwards do backflips and stuff. I also remember that one crazy wreck. Spread Attack says today's Austin's B-Day. I think so. He's having the birthday party. I don't know if it's today or tomorrow, but I know he's having the birthday party today. Larson is easy pick. Yeah, for sure. Oh, just saw I got a dono. Appreciate that very much, Nicholas. Never have to do that. Ross Chastain, Bubba, or Ryan Priest. Love the content. Thank you very much, Nick. If I had to pick between those guys, I would say Ryan Priest. He's the safest. And honestly, while he doesn't have quite the finishing position upside of Ross Chastain, I don't think he's too far off Bubba Wallace. And Priest hasn't been exactly the worst thing at Pocono. So just give me the place difference upside there. I go with Priest, whether it's cash games or tournaments. Now, if you're playing 150 lineups, I don't hate getting a little bit of exposure to Ross Chastain in case he can hold like that top 8 finishing position, which would be fine at his price point. But I definitely side with Ryan Priest there. Dude says Bristol's on my bucket list. Bristol would be a super fun race to go to. I'd love to go to the Bristol night race. I'm trying to qualify for the dang qualifier because I'm pretty sure that the qualifier championship race, King of the Speedways, at Bristol, and I typically do well at Bristol for DFS, so I'd love to try to get it, and maybe I could go to the race or something. But I don't know, it's tough. It's really tough to qualify for those things, and you're really just wasting money because it's so hard too. And the off chance you make it, it's definitely worth your time. Is Larson no risk? Well, there's obviously risk starting in the pole, but I mean, let's be honest, Larson's probably going to lead close to 100 laps today unless he has a mechanical issue. If he has a mechanical issue, I'm sorry, guys, there's nothing I can do about that. I mean, if he has an issue on pit road, he can't project that kind of stuff, but if this is a clean, normal race for Larson, I mean, 100-plus laps is definitely in the cards here. Dave says McDowell or Newman. I think McDowell's been better in the 550 package. They've actually both been pretty solid. They actually have some similar numbers. I can pull that up for you really quick. I know both have been pretty solid, and they just seem a little bit too cheap this week. I know it's because they don't have place differential upside, but looking at these guys in the 550 this season, both have 4 top 20s. McDowell's got 5, 2 top 15s, and a top 10 average finish around 15th place. So McDowell's been slightly better, but Newman does offer you a little bit more place differential upside there. Just a little bit, though. But I think Newman's going to be way chalkier than McDowell. So if you're just looking for the direct pivot there, I think McDowell's a good pivot. Dude says, I've been a Kurt fan since I remember him teaming up with Edwards when Roush had a handful of cars. Oh, we know you love Kurt Busch, dude. Always in the Discord chat. Every single week when the race starts, you get the Kurt Busch waving the checker flag. Typically, he doesn't make it all the way to the checker flag this season, it feels like, but... Any left for Brad? I'm not a big Brad fan today. I have some exposure just because of the price point where he's starting, but to be honest, those Keselowski lineups are my favorite. If I'm playing 3-max, I'm probably not getting a Kes. Jeff says not hearing Keselowski much. I like him. I'm not a big fan of him today. I'd rather play Hamlin for sure. Like, if I had to pick between Keselowski and Hamlin, I'm picking Hamlin every time, but I have like 15-20% Keselowski today, if that tells you anything. And that's a 150 max. If I'm playing 20 lineups, I'd probably have less. Do I like Truex? So that's the first Truex question we've got. I don't actually like Truex at all today because I'm going to be so heavy on Blaney, Elliott, and Larson that I can't play everyone. Like, I'd love to play everyone because all these guys have upside, but you got to take your stances somewhere. So I'm close to full fading Truex here. Not saying you should full fade the guy, but out of the 5 guys in the 10K and up range, I definitely prefer Truex the least. Like, I love Kyle Busch quite a bit. He's very good at Pocono. I know he's starting a little bit up there. He doesn't have the place differential upside that Truex has, but I would not be surprised at all if Kyle Busch stays in the top 5 all day, and he could potentially win this race. So Truex, not a big fan today. You got to pick one of those guys to go underweight on, and I'm definitely underweight on Truex. Any love for Roush Chastain starting really high, or do we go with Ryan Preece over him? Love the content. I think I answered that question, but thank you very much, Nicholas, for the dono earlier. Just rolling down the chat a little bit. Let me just scroll down. Okay, Chris Osden says, can't cut the YouTube contest off at 75. We have 76 now. So if you're just now joining the stream, I realize we got some more people now. Just go to my Twitter. It's down there somewhere, bottom left-hand corner of your screen. And I have the link posted on one of my recent tweets, and you can follow me if you haven't done that already. But yeah, check that out so we can fill the contest, because if it doesn't fill, we don't gonna have a contest, and that's gonna hurt my feelings a little bit. I know it's a Saturday race, but I think we can fill it. Again, if I missed your question, you can re-ask it. I'm just kind of scrolling through here a little bit. Sorry. Craig C. Austin says, thank you, C. Penn. Love you, brother. Back at you, Chris Austin. Hope you have an awesome day. Hopefully it stopped raining in Michigan. You said it's been raining for like 3 days straight. Hopefully the rain stopped for you. Hunter says, trucks just blew up in my face. Don't come to Discord. There's going to be some major tilting. Yeah, I definitely have Discord muted right now for the next 30 minutes until we get out of here. That's how it goes every week for trucks. I tell you guys, it's always a scary place for trucks. I've never played trucks DFS before. I'm not sure if you guys have, but I have zero interest in the lower series DFS-wise. Just seems like crazy stuff happens every single time. Not like crazy stuff doesn't happen in the Cup Series. It's just, I wouldn't want to do it. Do I like Bell today? I think Bell's a solid tournament play. He's been better in the 750 package this season, but he's been pretty good at flat tracks. That's one thing I will say. And in the 20 car, Eric Jones, man, he was awesome at Pocono. I realize they're not the same exact drivers, but Christopher Bell is very talented. I believe Jones got 4 top 5s here the past 6 races. If Christopher Bell can race similar to that, I know he doesn't offer you a place differential upside, but I think Bell's one of the better tournament plays today. Like, he could easily get a top 8 finish, and he shouldn't be that heavily owned. He's right beside Chris Buescher. Chris Buescher's going to be chalky, so I definitely like the Christopher Bell play quite a bit. Will the Hendrick drivers dominate today? Probably, Ron. I have a hard time seeing Hendrick not run well again. Until they show us they can't run well, I'm just going to keep believing that they're going to, and it just keeps working out. Like, I'd be very shocked if Hendrick isn't super strong again once again today. And I saw that tweet. I was surprised no one mentioned it, but I think NASCAR, you guys see the tweet where NASCAR said, I think it was on SiriusXM, they said not to put the Bondo on the nose or whatever. People were saying that Hendrick might not be fast again today, or else the Chevys, I should say. It wasn't just Hendrick, but I mean, I still think they're going to be fast again today. I wouldn't really worry about that too much. Dave says he's at Pocono. Oh, you're at Pocono, Dave? Awesome. I had someone on Twitter tweet me a video. They're at Pocono too, so maybe you guys can meet up or something. Kyle says Blaney, Briscoe, Elliott, Larson, Half, Hill. I can't recommend Half and Hill in the same lineup, Kyle. I mean, obviously the other guys you mentioned are awesome, but I cannot recommend Half and Hill. I just can't do it. I'm sorry. Appreciate the Twitter link, Duke. That makes things a little bit easier for me. What's up, Nick? Oof, Briscoe. Yeah, Briscoe hurt me last week. Very, very much so. But I'm going right back to the well here. Definitely think we got top 15 upside out of Briscoe. What's up, Massey? Hopefully that date went well last night you were telling us about in Discord. What's the cheapest pump play? Andy K asks. Cheapest pump play that I feel comfortable with is like Michael McDowell. Now the cheapest I would go, like if I'm playing 3 max, the cheapest I would go is Michael McDowell, but the very cheapest I would go is Quinn Houff, but I wouldn't play anybody else like below McDowell besides Quinn Houff, or maybe a sprinkle of Alfredo. But Quinn Houff is the absolute lowest I'm willing to go. Jamie says Eric Jones 4 top 5s in the past 5 races, but in Gibbs equipment, any love for today? Yeah, definitely do not expect a top 5 from Eric Jones today. Like, if you're looking at recent track history and you don't know anything about car changes or anything, you're probably thinking Eric Jones is the best play of all time, which he would be. Last year in a similar position, I think he was like 60% owned. And that's before he wrecked out of the race, and he was like 70% owned the next day, starting in pretty much dead last. But starting in 22nd, he's just so cheap where I think he's got top 18, top 15 upside, and that's enough for me at that price point. So I do have some interest in Eric Jones. He's just not quite as good of a play as he would be in the 20 car, obviously, but I don't think that needs to be explained too much. Dude says I'm not supposed to post the DK link on YouTube. Yeah, I can get in trouble for that, so appreciate you remembering that. Do you got some Blaney and Cash, or do I have some Blaney and Cash games? Or I'm not sure if you're saying you do, but you can play Blaney and Cash today. I have no issue with that. I just prefer the Larson Elliott combo, but I would not talk anybody off of playing Blaney and Cash games today. It makes a ton of sense. If Larson didn't exist, I'd purely be going place differential today, but with how good he's been this season, I just can't ignore it. Michael says I don't disagree with the Kurt Busch pricing. Yeah, I don't really like him today. Like, I think he could be a top 12 guy, but he hasn't really that good in this package this year, and I just don't really see a reason to want to play too much Kurt. Like, I'd rather play Bell, I'd rather play Bowman, I'd rather play Buescher there. Like, he just doesn't stand out to me today. I'm close to a fade on Kurt Busch. I'll send you an invite after the stream's over, Pugs, if you can't happen to find yourself in there. Ron says, who do you think will go into the Fox booth next year to replace Gordon? I'm not sure. I was trying to think about that the other day, and I'm just not sure. I'm not sure if a driver will retire and end up going there, but I'm going to miss Jeff and Clint in the booth. Those guys were really fun. It was like you're kind of hanging out with them and watching during the race. They were always a bunch of goofballs. And I enjoyed the skits before the race. I remember at the beginning of the season, they were like crashing each other in the car, and I'm going to miss that. I'm going to miss Jeff up there. We still have Clint, but it's definitely going to hurt losing Jeff in the booth. I'm not sure what you guys think. Jack House says, this is Hamlin's track. Yeah, Hamlin's awesome here. Won the most recent race, finished second, the one before that. It was just last year was Kevin Harvick, Denny Hamlin, then just switched the next race. Not sure we're going to see that exactly again this season with how good, obviously, Hendrick's been. And last year, Hamlin and Harvick were the best cars early on until Elliott took over at the end. But I just feel like the cars that have been fast all season long will be fast once again. I think top 5 in average green flag speed in this package so far this year has been Larson, Byron, Hamlin, Busch, and Elliott, if I remember correctly. Pretty sure it's that top 5, but I'm not sure it's exactly in that order. Pugsley says, do we like Buescher this week more than Reddick? I do. I like Buescher quite a bit. I feel like they have similar finishing position upside. Buescher's been good in this package so far this season, and he starts all the way back in 25th, so definitely would prefer Buescher over Reddick today. But if you're looking for the direct pivot in tournaments, Reddick's definitely going to be lower owned, especially with that track history from last year. Natalie says Bowman or Byron. That's tough. I like the place differential upside from Bowman, but Byron's been so good here, and now as good as he's been this season. I'm going to side with Byron, but he's a little bit riskier. Something went wrong says, I think Jamie Mack. That'd be interesting. Pugsley says, confirm Chris Pennell to the Fox booth. Sure, I'll give it a go. Although, I guess the live streams might get canceled, unfortunately. Spread says, this is a known Bondo full Larson fade today. If you're full fading Larson today, it's definitely going to be a sweaty day for you if he stays out front. That is for sure. Someone's talking about the truck race. Truck race is over. Who won the truck race? Oh, I guess I probably just scroll up a little bit. John or Nemechek. It's not too much of a surprise there. Jordan says, what's good, bro? Rolling out Blaney, Elliott, Hamlin, DiBenedetto, Buescher. Good luck, my G. Good luck to you too. Good luck to you too, Jordan. Hope you do very well today. And I think that lineup's pretty solid. Is that 5 drivers? 1, 2, 3, 4. You're probably just playing on FanDuel. Not too inclined with the FanDuel pricing, but I definitely think that looks good. And Eric Jones, Travis asks, yeah, I like Eric Jones quite a bit today. I think he's one of the better cheap plays. My optimizer loves him quite a bit as well. Kyle Busch or Denny Hamlin? I'm going to go with Denny Hamlin there. You get more place differential upside, and he crushes Pocono. So does Kyle Busch, but I'll just take the PD upside, and he's a little bit cheaper. Xfinity tomorrow at noonish. Yeah, you won't have any Xfinity content from me tomorrow. And that is for sure. But we'll be doing the live stream once again. I think around... Cup starts at 3:45, right? Probably go around 2. 2 o'clock live stream sounds pretty good. What's up, Hunter? Something wrong says, KB really just gift that John Hunter Nemechek. He got second. 2 seconds slower when he was second. That's fine. He's not full time anyway. Looks like Internet found the contest. Don't need to do that. Kurt says, Truex finished below top 10 in truck. Let's see, just looking down here. Ryan Preece finished 9th in trucks. I think Preece is a good tournament, not tournament play, just really cash game or tournament play today. Love the play differential upside for him. Buescher or Reddick this week, I would go with Buescher. Jeff says Bell, Almirola, or MDB. Oh gosh, between those guys, I would go MDB for the place differential upside. But to rank those guys, I would say MDB, Bell, and Eric. Even though Eric's pretty good here, it's just I can't trust him in the 550 package this year. He's been bad, very, very bad. Lawrence Tamir, 21. I think I said that right. Who's going to win today? Boring answer. Kyle Larson. If Larson doesn't win, I'd say either Byron or Hamlin. Those would be my picks to win today. Massey says Briscoe and Jones or Almirola and Preece and Bubba. I'll go with Briscoe and Jones there. That'll be chalkier, but for a good reason. Hunter says, when are you going to shave? I shaved yesterday. You missed it, Hunter. We had a private live stream for it. Hunter says, fade Chase Elliott. I feel like you're joking there. Definitely do not fade Chase Elliott today. Unless you're looking for massive leverage today, you could not play Chase Elliott, but you better have loads of Ryan Blaney and Kyle Larson if that's the case. Kurt says, where are Jeff and Clint going? Jeff Gordon is now with Hendrick, so it's just going to be Clint in the booth. Well, obviously they're going to find somebody else, but yeah, Jeff is no longer in the booth next year, which is going to suck because I like Jeff on TV. Travis says, any Suarez? I like Suarez a lot as a pivot. Like, out of all those 6K guys, Suarez should be overlooked, and I think he's a great play. He's got top 10 upside. Michael says, any chance DiBenedetto makes it 100 for the Wood Brothers this weekend? Probably not. I don't think MDB is going to be that good. I think starting 21st, though, he's a good DFS play, but... This is Hamlin's track. 18 M&M, blue caramel intensifies. And Kyle Busch is really good here. Like Kyle Busch, Denny Hamlin. The JGR cars are usually really good at Pocono. What about Dillon? Austin Dillon? He's not going to be very owned at all today. It's just the price range he's in. Let me pull it up right here. So Austin Dillon's $7,700. He's starting in 12th. Like this 7K range and the 8K range outside of Buescher is probably going to go really overlooked today because everyone's going to be building up top. And then once you do that, you obviously have to go down to the 6K and 5K range. So this is going to be a little bit overlooked. So Austin Dillon, wouldn't be surprised if he's less than 10% owned today. And in this package this year, he's pretty much a top 10 guy. But I don't really have much interest in Austin Dillon at all today, to be honest. I have a little bit, but that's it. How do I feel about Ricky? He's just starting too far up front for me. I know he was blazing fast last week, but it's a different package, and I just need some more place differential upside out of him. I feel like he could be a top 15 guy, but that's not enough for me for where he's starting. Maybe like 5% or something in 150 max, but that's it. Edwin says Larson and Byron in the same lineup. Not my favorite thing to do today. It's definitely risky, but if they finish 1-2, it can work out. Like I set up the road course, and I'm kind of viewing this kind of like a road course in terms of how many laps we have, where I kind of build similar lineups to that, where place differential and finishing position is pretty key. And we saw Larson and Elliott start 1-2, and then they both finish 1-2, so it can work out. It's just not. It doesn't look the greatest on paper. Only in tournaments would I do that. You're welcome, Low. Chris says, hope the contest fills. I'm calling a top 3. Going to switch to CP Mafia pick from here on out. Yeah, if you want that picture, I think C. Austin's got it in Discord. If you can send it to you. Is the White Sox game going to rain out? Chris asks. I have to look at the weather. I know there's some weather issues in Minnesota. I know you guys are talking about baseball. Minnesota and what was the other one? Chicago. Yeah, the White Sox and Mariners game, and then the Minnesota Twins and the Indians. I'll double check that when I get out of here. I know it's a little bit iffy, though. Hunter says CP Mafia logo equals 20% more payout. Yeah, for sure. Gives you some good luck. It's been working for Shady. That's for sure. Something wrong says it was over 20 minutes ago. What was over 20 minutes ago? Diana says, hey, Chris, it's Jason. Got 540 on Hamlin. Top 3. Didn't hear you earlier. Oh. I said it's quite a bit for Hamlin top 3 with how good Hendrick's been this year, and obviously Kyle Busch will be a factor, but I would say I'd say like my 3 favorite drivers finishing position-wise today are going to be Larson, Denny Hamlin, William Byron, so I'm not against it. It can certainly happen today, and we know exactly how good Denny Hamlin is at Pocono in flat tracks in general, so I don't hate that bet at all. Rentrim says Elliott and Blaney in the same lineup, or does that box you in too much? No. I mean, I have Larson and Elliott lineups together. I have all those guys mixed together because there's a lot of good cheap plays today, so that's perfectly fine. You can certainly play all 2 of those. You can play 2 of those 3 guys together quite easily today. Chandler says, think Chastain can finish top 5. Looked very good last week and been getting faster these past couple of races. I wouldn't personally bet him to finish top 5. I know there's some good value on that, but top 10 wouldn't surprise me at all. Chastain has looked very, very good. DFS wise, he's in a tough position today. Boldy says there was a tornado warning in Chicago. Was there really? That doesn't sound good. Does not sound good at all. Let's see. Oh, they see Michael Waltrip behind the booth. He's a quirky guy. Yeah, that'd be interesting. I miss the DW days. I miss the boogity boogity. I know some people really didn't like DW in the booth, but I don't know. I just like fun and chaos in the booth, and he was just kind of a funny guy. Maybe he didn't give the best analysis, but wasn't really there for the analysis. Ron says your dad will pick Hamlin today. I don't think there's been a race where he doesn't pick Hamlin. He keeps saying Larson's not going to keep winning, and then he just keeps winning, which I agree. At some point, it's got to stop, but wouldn't surprise me if Hamlin put a stop to that today at all. Is Gordon going to drive or manage? He's in like the upper level executive kind of thing. He's not driving. It would be cool to see him drive again. Jordan says, I'm tempted to switch Hamlin for Harvick and play Bowman instead of Matty D. I prefer Hamlin over Harvick today just because the place differential upside, plus Hamlin's been a little bit better, but or maybe not even a little bit, just dominator-wise, he's been a lot better than Kevin Harvick, mainly in the 750 package, but Hamlin's also been good in the 550. But if you can get the Bowman instead of Matty D, obviously I'd like that. But I'd feel more comfortable with Hamlin and Matty D, picking between those two. Thoughts on Bowman? He's going to be like the forgotten Hendrick guy today, which is probably a mistake. Top 10 upside every single week. Would it ever surprise you if Hendrick finishes 1 through 4 again? No, certainly wouldn't. So I definitely have some interest in Alex Bowman. Plus, starting 13th offers you a little bit of place differential upside. Edwin says, is Larson a must-in single into GPP? I mean, he's my favorite play today, but you don't have to play him. I mean, if he just happens to not lead half the race. Like, if you think Larson's going to lead over half the race and win, you should get him in your lineups. If you don't think that, get him out. I honestly think he's probably going to lead over half the race today and more than likely win. He can start 20th tomorrow, which he's going to be nearly $13,000, but he's going to be pretty much a must-play if that's what happens. Kurt says, is that true? Kasowski to Roush, a rumor? It's not like 100% confirmed because of Penske stuff, but it's pretty much a done deal. I think there was a tweet yesterday that said it's pretty much confirmed. Like, he is going to be Roush and driver owner thing, which could be a correlation why he just hasn't really been showing up recently. Like, he's been bad, very, very bad. Kyle says driver 6,500 under GPP. Let's take a look here. Well, if you're going to include Daniel Suarez, I mean, all these guys are going to be chalky, really, besides Suarez. So if I had to pick one, I'd say Suarez. He's going to be, I actually really like him quite a bit as a pivot because Jones is going to be chalky. Like, would I prefer Jones, Custer, Priest over Suarez today? Yes, but if you're looking for the ownership, I do like Suarez quite a bit. You're welcome, Kurt. Thank you for all the stuff you've been putting in chat as well. Everything is a good contribution. And I don't think I've ever seen you in here before, so if you're brand new, welcome. I do these every week. Hunter says, so what's on the menu today? C-Pen, ice cream, pasta, everything? Definitely not those two. Well, I'll be having a lot of vanilla ice cream with Ryan Newman, if you guys don't understand that joke. But for real, though, I made buffalo chicken dip yesterday, going to Andrew's house, which is DFS by the numbers if you guys watch his MMA content. Going to his house for his birthday, made buffalo chicken dip, healthy version, should be pretty good. Watch some fights, watch some NASCAR. Yes, something went wrong. Alright, let me scroll up a little bit. Jordan says I'm near Chicago, it's still pretty rainy but not heavy rain. Yeah, I'm going to check that MLB weather for that game once I get off of here, because I know lock's coming up. I don't think I missed anything. Let me check the contest really quick. Yeah, if you guys have just got to the stream, the contest is not filled yet. All you gotta do is go to my Twitter. I think Dude's been posting my Twitter links in the thing. So we have 18 spots left, and we have around an hour to go. So we gotta fill that. So if you guys haven't been in the contest yet, either go to the preview video, I'll send you an invite, or you just gotta go to my Twitter and then click the link, and you'll be good. Chandler says, would you rather pair Elliott or Blaney? Okay. Elliott or Blaney with Larson, or go with Kyle or Hamlin, who could potentially win, just not as much PD upside? I would go with the Larson-Elliott route. I mean, I realize it's easy to say play the two most expensive drivers, but you can make it work today. Like, it's not that hard to do it. If it was harder to do it, we didn't have any good cheap plays, I would probably steer away from it too much, but it's pretty easy to do today. Not really hard at all. Is it better to play NASCAR DFS on DraftKings or FanDuel? I would say DraftKings. I don't play on FanDuel at all. DraftKings has better contest. I mean, it's really easy to build lineups over on FanDuel. I hear it's a bit like a chalk fest every single week, but I much prefer DraftKings. That's why I only do content for it. Tommy says, love his MMA videos. He is the MMA GOAT. Yeah, he spends all week doing that. We're in a group chat together. I mean, he's always doing MMA stuff. He sends me MMA stuff like I know what he's talking about. I don't. I just pretend I do sometimes. And I never watch UFC, so I'm going to be seeing some fights. So hopefully there's some good fights today. I don't really know much about it. Your thoughts on LaJoy as a budget keeper? Yeah, it's okay. He's actually been doing well recently, and he actually won me the tournament last year at Pocono in the second race. I played LaJoy, and he won me first, and so I guess I'll always have a soft spot for him, but he is starting, what, 23rd? You can play him. I'd prefer Bubba. I'd prefer Priest. I'd prefer Ryan Newman. I'd prefer McDowell, so he's very low on the list for me. Probably have less than 10% ownership for myself, to be honest. Jordan says, first time watching a live, normally watch your weekly videos, just subscribe. Thought I was already so. Well, thank you, Jordan. Really appreciate that. Usually we have more people in here, like around 200, 300 at the time, but Saturday, so usually these are a lot more fun. So if you tune in tomorrow, we should have a lot more fun in the chat, although this has been still good. We just usually have more people. But the truck race was going on, UFC's going on, so I understand. You're welcome, DJ. Ugly question time, McDowell or pasta? I'll go with McDowell there. Wasn't super ugly question. An ugly question, I've gotten a Quinn Houff, Timmy Hill question before, so I don't think anything gets worse than that. And it was like the first question of the video, so that's how we started it out. If we were to put 1,000 on a winner, who would you go with? I mean, my brain would tell me Larson, but you're getting terrible value there, so maybe like a Denny Hamlin. Denny Hamlin, William Byron, just to try to get some, better odds there. David says, Larson, Elliott, Blaney, McDowell, Newman, and Houff. What you think? Besides Quinn Houff, I like it. I mean, in some tournaments lineup, I am going to have some Quinn Houff. I did not X him out in my 150 max today. So I got around, I don't have more than 10%, I will say that. But I don't mind that. See, dude says, FanDuel has some tourneys that I like. Pricing is softer, and they only have half a point for place differential, so there's less of an emphasis on spots improve. Yeah, that's one different thing about FanDuel. Also, you get points for like every lap they complete, but I don't play on FanDuel. Oh, you normally watch, don't do chat? Yeah. Oh, you don't have to be a lurker. Always come in. We're all nice in here, I think, for the most part. I've had to mute some people before, but nothing usually too bad here. Hill or Houff, that's like a heftier, great value coin. Yeah, for sure, man. That is for sure. Chris and Treatment offer weekly tourneys on DK, which are always fun. Oh, yeah, in the Discord chat. The Treasy Cup every single week playing. Yeah, something went wrong. Loves Kyle Busch. Probably one of the biggest Kyle Busch fans I know. Every single time he's in here, he's got to talk about some Kyle Busch. Which I don't mind Kyle Busch. If Ron says, if Larson goes down, what percentage in your pool go down? 90%. Yeah. If you're in my contest then you want some leverage, just not playing Kyle Larson's a decent way. Just if you hope he does bad, and he does bad, I mean, you don't need many more things to go right for you to happen to do well in my contest today, because I assume he's going to be very, very popular. Thoughts on Chase Briscoe? I think Chase Briscoe is one of the better place differential plays today. If you can fit him in, I know he's a little bit pricey compared to the other 6K guys, but I mean, starting in 28th, I think he could easily finish inside the top 20. Top 15 might be pushing it, but maybe around the 15th, 20th place range, which is just fine for where he's starting in that price point. I have a good chunk of Chase Briscoe today. I think he's one of the better PD plays overall. Alright, I'm just going to check the contest really quick. So we need like 15 more people to hop in, so if you haven't already, make sure you join the DraftKings contest so it does fill. Cash Core? Well, I'll tell you two guys you should just play in cash games today. Chase Elliott, #1, and then I would say, I'd say like Ryan Newman just because of the price point. Even though there's not a ton of place differential upside, it's just he is so cheap and he makes things work up top. So with Chase Elliott, you can fit in either a Blaney or a Kyle Larson. What I think about Reddick, or you ask me what I think about Reddick? What I think about Reddick, I think he's a good tournament pivot off of a guy like Chris Buescher. I can't imagine Reddick will come in above like 20% owned today. Should definitely be underneath that. So if you're just looking for some leverage, don't mind him. I know the track history doesn't look good, but he had issues in both races last year, so you kind of throw that out the window. In this package, I mean, the guy has top 10 upside every single week. Usually brings some speed. GPP core. Some guys I like a lot in tournaments today. I love Danny Hamlin quite a bit. I like Daniel Suarez down low because all those 6 guys are going to be chalky, but Suarez should be a little bit overlooked. I like Alex Bowman quite a bit. I like Christopher Bell. So guys like that. What's the name of the DraftKings contest? Well, it's private, so you'd have to get a link or I'd have to invite you. So if you just go to my Twitter, it's on there. There's a link to it, and you can join it. Or if you just want to comment your DK username on my preview video, I can send you an invite after that. But we've gone 55 minutes now, so I probably only go 5 more minutes. So if you have any dire questions, or if you just want to ask a silly question, serious, whatever, does not matter, I'll be more than happy to answer it. double just check a couple things here. Just check the Twitter here. So if you just got here, just go to my Twitter right here, Chris Pennell 16. You can find in the bottom 10 corner of your screen you're watching, and then this link right here will get you to the contest. Right there, and I think there's like 15 spots or so left, and then it'll take you right there. Let's see, David says Newman is cheap, but very hard to trust these past races. He did good yesterday, or not yesterday, he did good last week, which maybe he carries that over. But in this package this season, Newman's not been bad at all, so I'm not too concerned about rostering Ryan Newman. Okay, Jason, I'll try to remember that. I'll try to remember your username there. Kyle says, you're my hero, not my zero. Appreciate it, Kyle. Same for you. Still okay with Custer and Cash going to the back? Yeah, he's already in the back anyway, so don't really care about that at all. I keep forgetting about Custer, too. Like, I keep forgetting to mention him, but he's still one of the better cheap plays today. Thoughts on Almirola? He's very good at these types of tracks. Yeah, Almirola's track history is going to look good at a lot of places, but the way he's been running this year, it's garbage. Like, I know he was okay last week, but Eric Almirola in this package this season, yes, Pocono, good track for him. He's good here last year, led some laps, finished 5th and 3rd. And the year before that, 12th and 10th. But so far this season, yes, there's some bad luck mixed in, but running position of 23.2 with only one top 20 finish, and his driver rating is worse than Chase Briscoe. It's almost as bad as Corey LaJoie. It's been worse than, or just above Ryan Preece. Like, he has been terrible. So maybe you want to play a little bit of him just because of the track history, but I have a hard time seeing Almirola do super well today, unless the Stewart Haas cars happen to have some extra juice that I don't know about. Girlfriend's here. She says, I'm very late, but I'm here. Well, just about done, but you did make it. We got a couple minutes left, so I appreciate you stopping by. I'll see you in a few minutes, or not a few minutes, probably about half an hour, so we can go. Any of the NASCAR DraftKings contests you recommend? Depends what you play. Do you play 1 max, 3 max? Do you build 150? Do you build 20 lineups? The Chrome Horn's pretty good, $80 to max out. If you're playing 150 lineups, you could do the mini max, you could do the lug nut, or you could play the big contest if you're big balling it today. And single entries, Rainbow Warrior, I forget what the 51's called, there's the 121, things like that. Just depends on what you play. If you can't, what I usually say is if you can't max out that contest, like if you can't build 150 laps in a 150 contest, don't play it because you're just putting yourself at a big disadvantage. If you can only build 3 lineups, find a 3 entry max contest. Why not just keep yourself in an even playing field? Because if you're going up against guys with 150 lineups, they have way more opportunities to hedge and you don't. So you're just kind of setting yourself up for some failure unless you happen to have unless you get lucky that day. Buescher or Bell? I prefer Buescher. Bell's a good tournament play, but I prefer Buescher overall. Eric Jones should still be decently owned despite being a different car. I agree. Eric Jones should still be above 20% owned today just because of the price point. He's popping to my optimizer too. I'm not sure if that'll dictate anything, but he is popping for me. But Custer to the back, should I play Preece over him in my last lineup? And you can. I mean, but personally, Custer going to the back doesn't mean anything to me. Like, it's fine. There's a competition caution lap, 12 laps in? I mean, it doesn't really change anything for me. So if you preferred Custer over Preece in the first place, that shouldn't change your mind, really. The only way it would have changed my mind if someone was starting, like, in the top 5 and then they went to the rear. Like, doesn't really care. Newman or Haley? Newman for me. I mean, Haley is okay starting 34th, but we're looking for, like, a top 30 from Haley when Ryan Newman's got legit top 10 upside. More so top 15, but he does have top 10 upside. Buescher, Bowman, or Blaney, Briscoe? Whew. I'm going to go with Blaney, Briscoe there. Just a little better to me overall. Almirola or Matty D? I'll go with Matty D there. Any left for Preece today? Yeah, starting 31st. I mean, price is pretty low. He's got top 25, top 20 upside. I don't have any reason not to like Ryan Preece today. Got a good chunk of him in my lineups. Thoughts on McDowell? He's been very good in this package this season. He's got pretty much similar numbers to Ryan Newman, and they're priced right beside each other, and McDowell's a little bit cheaper, so if you're just looking for the direct pivot, I mean, Michael McDowell's right there. I think he's a fine play today. You're welcome, Rhett. Yeah. So we have a minute left. It's 1:59, and I'll probably get out of here. So if anyone has any other questions, please let me know. Something went wrong says my salary is minus $7,000. Oh, you have some issues there. Did you try to play Larson, Elliott, Hamlin, Blaney all in the same lineup or something? That is definitely way over. You have a lot of work to do there. All right, so I think I'm gonna get out of here. It's been an hour. If you haven't joined the DraftKings contest, make sure you do that. We gotta get it to Phil. He's got 15 spots left, so either check out the Twitter or send me a message or something. Find the link to it. Find somehow to get into it. Comment your username down below after this video is posted or my preview video. I'll be more than happy to get you in there. But with that being said, guys, I think I'll get out of here. The new streaming software, I think it worked well. Don't think we really had connection issues, so appreciate you watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow because this is a double header. So I'm going to have a video posted tonight, so check that out. Then we'll have the live stream tomorrow, probably around the same time, maybe around 2 p.m. Eastern. So with that being said, guys, I will see you, and hope you guys have the best of luck today, and make sure your drivers don't make any right turns today.